Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the medical realities of dwarfism. We're going to strip away the myths and get right down to the anatomy, the genetics, and the actual physiological drivers behind this condition. It's like looking directly at the structural codes of the body to understand exactly how human stature is built. So let's just jump right in. Okay, let's start by establishing the exact medical baseline. Officially, dwarfism is defined as a medical condition causing short stature, with the specific benchmark being an adult height of 4 feet 10 inches, that's 147 centimeters, or less. It's a highly specific measurement, and it gives medical professionals a concrete starting point for understanding human growth patterns. Now, before we really get into the anatomy, I want to highlight an absolutely crucial fact, and this is probably the most important takeaway to start with. Beyond physical height, individuals with dwarfism have completely typical intelligence and completely normal lifespans. We really have to separate the mechanics of physical bone growth from cognitive function and overall longevity. A person's stature does not dictate their mental capabilities or how long they're going to live. Not at all. Section 1. 2 distinct types. Let's see how this actually manifests in the body. You see, this condition doesn't just present in one single way. There's actually a core physical dichotomy at play here. On one hand, we have disproportionate dwarfism. This means certain body parts are sized differently in relation to one another. So for example, someone might have a completely average-sized torso, but significantly shorter arms and legs. Some parts might even be average or larger than usual. On the flip side, we have proportionate dwarfism. In this case, the individual is just small all over. Every part of the body remains in normal proportion to everything else. It literally just scales down evenly together. Section 2. Hormones and chronic health. So let's look at the body's internal project managers to understand the root causes of that proportionate type. Basically, proportionate dwarfism is driven by foundational health inputs during a person's developmental years. If there's a hormone deficiency, like a lack of growth hormone being produced by the pituitary gland, or a chronic issue like kidney disease, or even severe nutritional problems during childhood, the body's overall systemic resources for growth are restricted, and because of that, the entire bodily framework just scales down uniformly. Okay, so we know what causes uniform shortness, but here's a really interesting question. If hormones and nutrition dictate proportionate growth, how do we explain a body that develops an average-sized torso but builds significantly shorter limbs? What actually changes in the body's blueprint to cause disproportionate dwarfism? Section 3, the genetic architecture. To answer that, we have to zoom way in, past the organs and past the hormones. The crucial difference is mapped out right here. While proportionate dwarfism is driven by those overall systemic resources we just talked about, disproportionate dwarfism, most commonly a condition known as achondroplasia, is driven entirely by targeted genetic mutations. So it's not about a lack of overall resources, it's a highly specific, tiny little change in the body's instruction manual. And the prime suspect in that genetic instruction manual? The FGR3 gene. The main job of this specific gene is to dictate exactly how bone and cartilage are supposed to form and mature in the human body. When this gene undergoes a mutation, it directly and profoundly alters a person's stature. Let's break down exactly what happens during that mutation. Basically, it disrupts the normal process of how bones and cartilage grow and mature. And because it targets that structural development so precisely, the impact is highly localized. The mutation results in significantly shorter arms and legs, since limb bone growth really relies on that specific cartilage development, but it maintains a completely average-sized torso. It's a targeted structural shift, not some sort of overall systemic failure. What you really should take away from this explainer today is that this condition is far more than just short stature. Whether it's a systemic scaling down because of hormones or a targeted limb length adjustment from the FGFR3 gene in achondroplasia, dwarfism is a highly specific, perfectly functional variance in our complex developmental architecture. Honestly, it just shows how remarkably adaptable the human body is, capable of elegantly rearranging its structural framework while keeping the core systems of life and intelligence completely untouched. Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder as we wrap things up. If just one microscopic genetic tweak, literally a single mutation in the FGFR3 gene, can so elegantly and profoundly reshape our physical framework, while leaving human intelligence and lifespan completely intact, what other incredible, fascinating secrets and variances are waiting to be uncovered in the vast blueprint of human genetics? Thank you so much for exploring the architecture of stature with me today. Keep questioning and keep exploring.